of the people that are listening to us are local. Not all. We're all over the United States. But tell us some of the companies that are joining you guys in your program.
Sure. Everyone knows the company Acme Brick.
Oh yeah.
When I was growing up, I saw Acme Brick commercials. I didn't know that was a real company.
Shoot,
But
Acme was on Looney Tunes. You remember
that's
that?
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Acme Company, yeah.
Well, I will tell you, Dennis Knauts is the CEO of Acme. He will probably be retiring this year. Acme is a member of North Texas Lead. BNSF, you're right here located in Fort Worth,
Uh-huh.
Texas. And for me, in my council district, Bell
Yeah.
Helicopter, or Bell as they're known now, is a member. Hillwood, H. Ross Perot's company, is a member of North
Absolutely.
Texas Lead.
Oh, wow. Yes.
DFW Airport, the third busiest airport in the world, is a member of North Texas Lead.
Uh-huh.
Jeff Fagan, the retired CEO, brought them in. His successor, Sean Donahue, is a big supporter of North Texas Lead.
All
I know you
right.
guys have heard of DART. You've
Yeah.
heard of
Dallas Area Rapid
Encore.
Transit.
Oh, absolutely. All the transit money in the world at one point was coming to Dallas. They are members. Friesen Nichols, a Malcolm Baldrige
Oh
award-winning
yeah.
company, is a member. The CEO of Friesen Nichols is my board chair right now. And so what that means is we get the benefit of that Malcolm Baldrige training, and they will be helping us fine-tune our strategic plan. Let's see, who else? Oh, I have to look automatically. Texas Health Resources.
Yeah.
And at one point,
Oh,
I told the former CEO, you're trying to get up into southern Oklahoma because THR is everywhere.
yeah.
Yes.
THR Fort Worth is now a level 1 trauma center, as is another
Mm.
partner of LEAD, which is JPS Health Center,
Oh
Health
yeah.
Network.
Yeah.
We are also affiliated with Cook Children's, UNT
Wow.
Health Science Center, TCU, UNT. I think I mentioned that
UNT.
UT
One of my
Arlington.
colleges. Yeah.
Well, UTA, no, nothing to snub there. UTA is a
Right.
member as
Right.
well. TCC, and TCC is the reason why we started taking a look at the non-degree professional, because they
Ah,
started talking before COVID
Uh-huh.
about the importance of those certifications. And so we have a number of partners. They can all be found on our website, northtexaslead.org. And oh, my former employer, if I didn't mention them, it'd be bad.
Oh, that
Encore
would be bad.
Electric Delivery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. Yeah, you are. We're Encore for a number of
Absolutely.
years there. Yeah.
That's
So,
my
guys, I
family.
want to remind everybody that the LEAD stands for, and Gina, you correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
Leaders and Executives Advocating Diversity. There is
Give
a
that man a
focus.
gift card.
See there? And diversity is one of the things that the lead program likes to get involved with companies, and a number of these companies. How many, Gina, overall now? Because there's a lot more companies than when you first started, when I first connected with you guys.
Yeah, when I first hired on in 2006, we had 11 partners. Now we have more than 30. And the interesting thing
Wow.
about that 11 is that they were all not really what I would call suitable, but they believed in the vision.
That's
Yeah.
right.
How
For
does a company become a partner?
you get invited, and my board members will invite you. I have board members who will extend invitations, and we always meet with them. And what we try to do is make sure there is a need and a respect.
Right.
Because
Right.
number one of our companies early on was Bates Container.
Oh
And at
wow.
that time, we were strictly looking for that degreed professional. Well,
Uh-huh.
Bates Container was there not because they thought they might hire from the organization, but because they believed in the vision. And I never will forget Wes Turner. Wes is a retired publisher of the Star Telegram and
Yeah.
had never hired when I came on board. I said, Wes, why do you stay with this organization and you can't hire from us? And he said, Gina, I can find a reporter quicker than any of your people can, but we believe in the vision. And
Yeah.
at the time, that vision of diversity was based on skin color and ethnicity.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's changed. Yeah.
we have since expanded that position because my philosophy is no one is excluded, no one is left behind. And
Right.
what made me realize that it was important to broaden that definition, I had a pilot in the database. This pilot had had a sex change. and had trouble finding a position because of what the birth certificate said and
Uh-huh.
what this person aspired to be. And so at that point, we knew, okay, people who are qualified to get these jobs come from all backgrounds, what have you. And so what I tell people now is, if you give me a room full of mechanical engineers and give me a couple of aeronautical engineers, I have diversity. That's diversity
Awesome.
on your skill set. If you
Absolutely.
bring me somebody from Alabama and pair them with Michigan, that's geographic diversity. So there is
Yep.
no
Yep.
reason for us to leave people out. And the only thing we care about is, can you do this job? Are
That's
Yep.
you
right.
qualified? And so
Yeah.
that's our focus now.
The
Yeah.
lady right above you, Meg Rose Caterio, is you've met her before, and Meg Rose is a biochemical engineer, and now
Okay.
she has transitioned, as you might want to say, over into project management now, and she is part of the program and has been an integral part of the program. She is my only friend that I really hang out with that is from Rhode Island. I've always been intrigued with Rhode Island.
Oh wow. Me too then.
I've always been intrigued with Rhode Island my whole life. I'm like, there's so little over there, but they got a lot of stuff going on. And then there was a time that on, I think Block Island, who is right outside of Rhode Island, is it a Commonwealth of Rhode Island itself? Meg Rose, you're muted. I don't hear you.
Oh, sorry,
There
my
you
bad.
go.
I'm less talking to myself, having a grand old time over here. But yes, Black Island, if you look at the map of Rhode Island, is a part of Rhode Island. That is a part of our state.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
We used to have a house out on Block Island. And so that
Hmm.
was my introduction to Rhode Island. And of course, to get to Block Island, you got to go to Rhode Island and get over there. You don't have to, but it's best if you do.
It's
But
better if you take the ferry rather than swim.
exactly, exactly. And so I was excited when Gina said yes, I'd like to come on
Mhm.
the show, and
Yeah.
then Meg Rose was like, "Oh, I know Gina. Oh my God, Gina's the best." And that
That was literally
is
the conversation, Gina,
that
yesterday.
is what we do
I'm
here.
like, I
That
don't
is
have time to talk.
yes.
Yeah.
And this program, guys, companies. I'm gonna tell you something, a story, and without taking too much of Gina's time. I have seen on a number of occasions, because of North Texas Lead and candidates going through the program, I have seen some of these companies that Gina mentioned create a position. Might
Yeah.
not have even had a position to start with, but
Hmm.
create a position simply because somebody had the stamp of approval from North Texas Lead. These companies really buy into the program that goes on at North Texas Lead. Now, I want to tell you guys, and Gina, correct me if I'm wrong. Go
Okay.
to northtexaslead.org. It's a .org, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Go there, guys. I want to get you guys to go and check out the program, see some of the things that Gina and I don't have time to talk about all this stuff. A lot of you guys know Sonia Scott. She has been
Mhm.
integral in the Career Search Network,
Yeah.
coming out, speaking at the meetings, telling people about North Texas Lead. You
Love her.
guys, job seekers, y'all need to know about North Texas Lead. We say NTL because we're in Texas. We don't want to say everything all completely.
Gina, you
Mhm.
got you got to talk about the special events and there. I mean, at least when I went through the program, you have to
Oh
talk
yeah.
about the special events because this is what actually lured me,
Ah.
into going to apply. I'm like, whoa, I get exclusive access to these people. So do you still do those?
Oh, Meg, yes, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that.
Oh, I
And
loved these. Oh,
well,
go
I'll
ahead.
tell
I'll be
you a
quiet.
funny story. Sonia is at Trinity Metro right now,
Oh,
and they have changed headquarters. And I've been there once, but I can never go anywhere twice without wandering around. I said, look, when you get there, send me a picture of the front door because I'll be leaving the radio show immediately to get there for the briefing.
right. You got to know
But
what to look for.
these receptions are where the hiring manage magic takes place. And what'll happen is we'll have a CEO agree to host a candidate networking reception. And we try to keep it a secret because it's only for candidates. If you've been endorsed by your panel, but during that reception, all the other companies will send people. And so you end up getting a chance to meet the head of HR for this company, the talent acquisition chief for this company, the CEO for this company, the CEO or
Uh-huh.
chancellor for this other one. It is very, very magical. And my staff always gets energized after a reception. We know no matter where people land after these receptions, people get hired. And it's
Yes.
because they get a chance
Yes.
to have that one-on-one engagement with people who can impact their hiring status. And no matter where they end, they're getting hired. And so at the end of November, I challenged my team, let's try to get 50 applications in 50 days. And I wanted to do that so that people would realize just because it's a holiday season, you can't take off if you're looking for a job. We need to keep you energized. And what that did was pave the way for interviews to be taking place right now because they didn't stop. And that magic comes from those receptions. I just love going to the receptions. Now,
Oh,
I
they're
got
so much fun. Oh, they're
well,
so much fun.
I missed the last one for I've only missed two receptions. Once my mom had surgery, and that was
Oh.
in 2007. But I got real sick at the end of last year. I
Oh,
missed my
no.
board meeting and reception. I was like, oh, what
You
is
have some
going
catch up
on?
to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I had that bug, and they gave me shots and drugs and everything. But of
Oh,
course, the
Lord.
team made it work,
You are
and
feeling
it was
good, though.
amazing. But I love those receptions. Thanks for
Yeah.
mentioning. It's so good to
Oh,
see
absolutely.
you.
It's I want to give you a hug so
Thank you.
bad, but
Now do this.
but the receptions, I even went to, just for everybody's knowledge, I went to the reception when I was employed, and I wasn't employed with anybody there, but keeping up my networking was so important to me, and I wanted to help other job seekers. That I think it was at DFW, and back in it was the last one of 2019 was the
19,
one.
right before COVID.
Mhm. Yes, exactly. So I went to, it was at DFW, and I still have connections with amazing people at DFW. I met, like you said, everybody like
Everybody.
in that company stays on purpose because they wanted to be there.
Mary Mondi is with us, and she's asking, how
Hey.
often is the candidate briefing being held, Gina?
We have
The
3
brief-
minutes till the break.
The briefings are held monthly. Go to northtexaslead.org, apply, upload your resume. The receptions are held quarterly, and most people who attend those receptions are employed. Early on, it was about 70% employed. It caught up with the national levels of unemployment around 2012. But most of our people who show up are employed. They're just looking for that next opportunity. That's why, Meg, when you come, we don't take a picture of your face unless we know you're really looking, because we don't want to get anybody fired.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh no,
That's right.
absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolute confidence and you know, we want to keep some things on the down low while you're with a job. You may not want your company to know you're out there trying to
That's
seek
right.
another one.
That's right. That's right.
But the process itself it was intense, and that's what I respected so much about
That's what the
North
company's
Texas. I'm like,
like.
oh,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't just like, oh, come and join us. And so,
Yeah.
no. You are going through an interview. It is a
Yeah.
panel interview, and they don't take just anybody. So you kind of,
Yeah.
you kind of buff up, like, I made it into North Texas Lead. And you you have that confidence. And as a job seeker, something, you just need anything to make you feel, I don't know, exclusive, if that makes any
Empowered.
sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
it's
and
so
it is.
empowering.
Yes.
I
Yes.
forgot one more position, if I could just mention, because when Meg
please do.
mentioned that, I thought about the senior legal counsel for Fort Worth ISD. That's a lead candidate.
Oh, yeah.
And I met her at DART when she was head of HR, and she got her law degree, went to work in DC at their Metropolitan Transit Agency, practiced law there, and we got her back in the Metroplex because Fort Worth ISD had an
Wow.
opening. But yeah,
That's
we
great.
tell people early on, when you go through our process, this is not your old job assist program. You got to bring it. You got to pay attention. And I always warn attorneys, you are the ones who are least coachable. So you pay attention too.
That's
I
right.
hear
Well, I
our
hear the
music,
music,
you
so we're
guys.
about to go
Yeah,
to
we're
break.
about to go to commercial, and Gina,
Yeah.
head
We'll
out
be
the
back.
door and head over to the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Gina. It was good
Thank you,
meeting
thank you. Have a
We'll
blessed
see you
rest
all
of the
after the
day.
break.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
My sweater is driving me nuts.
In the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Welcome back, Jobfather Nation.
We're back.
Excited.
I'm excited we got Meg Rose with us today.
Yep. On the second half, we have Meg Rose, and we're going to talk shop about all things related to job and career transitioning and answer some questions.
Yeah, are we going to do something new in 2023?
Yeah, just to help our job transitioners and job seekers.
Absolutely. Guys, there's some things that you may have employed. I'm sure there's a lot of things that you've employed in 2022. That's just part of being in job search. But there's some things that we're going to talk about today that you may not have employed. And since we're starting in 2023, let's think about maybe you want to employ some of these implement. That's the
implement. Let's go with that word. That's a better word.
You want to implement.
I was like, employ.
And you know, so I want to bring up one thing, and this is really, really good. A good question for us to go through is: does everybody utilize the cover letters? Now, you want to, if the job description in which you're applying for calls for a cover letter, you know what? You better have one. So, Dana, what is your approach to cover letters? Do you like them? Do you use them? Do you think job seekers should or should not? All of that stuff.
Sorry about that. Can everybody hear me? Is the connection okay?
Yeah,
we're good to go.
Woo! All right. You know, cover letters they're very much an interesting topic, and I think it's something that falls into somewhat of a gray area. Cover letters are important to just quickly highlight why you're qualified and why the reader should consider taking a look at and analyzing your resume further for the opportunity. I think they're great to have. It's important that everybody has a foundational cover letter that they can use. And I think it's important, even if it's just more of a manners and formality thing, to submit a cover letter when you are emailing someone about a role and you're submitting an updated resume and a cover letter, all focused towards the role that you are evaluating. Now, online, if your first contact with the firm that you're interested in is an applicant tracking system, if they ask for a cover letter, upload it. If they don't, then just do the resume. But one of my secrets, tips, and tricks that I've told people is after you apply to the job, try to find out who, if it's not already listed, which a lot of times it is because the recruiter wants you to reach out to them if you're interested and qualified because they want to fill that job as quickly as possible. So then following up with a resume and a cover letter to the hiring leader, letting them know you applied and you're very interested is a wonderful, wonderful tactic and a very solid reason why it's good to have a cover letter. But I would say if you're simply not emailing anyone and you're applying via an applicant tracking system, follow the promptings of the applicant tracking system.
Absolutely. Guys, if you don't have a integral, a network,
Yeah.
a relationship, you guys knew I was going to bring that word up.
Yeah.
Dana, I'm supposed to get close to the screen.
Relationship.
There you go. If you don't have that relationship that's already exists in that company, you will pop up in the interim. All you will be is a blip. You will be a resume that pops up on the computer screen. You know, when I first started my recruiting career, you'd be a piece of paper on the desk, but we've gone past that now. We've got all this technology. Well, with the inference of all this technology, guys, we have to prove if we are a fit for that job, we have to tell them why. We have to make it quick. Recruiters don't take a whole lot of time reading resumes. We don't have a lot of time. We got all these things that we call requirements that we have to face. A lot of people knocking on our door saying, "Where are my people?" So, guys, if you can quickly tell the company what your experience has been in the very area that they're looking to hire, that's going to get the attention of the hiring manager, and they're going to want to talk to you more. Um, and that recruiter is going to want to send you on to the hiring manager. That recruiter will take the time. You may get a call from a Dana Gingerich, and she will say, "Hey, let's talk a little bit because I saw this in your resume, and I know you applied for this position." And Dana has talked to the hiring manager. Dana knows what that hiring manager wants to hire that's not on that job description. We can't put everything on job description. So uh, those are things that we want to talk to you to zero in on your fit for that job. It's very important that we explain ourselves and why we're fit for that job. Yes, Maz, please, we want your opinion on this.
Okay, yes. I think I put it in the YouTube chat, but I have a informal cover letter it's like a snapshot of my resume. It has my picture. It's bright. It's colorful. I have all my certifications there. It is very like billboard. This is me. Love me. I am worthy of working for your company and you want me to work for your company. So that's kind of my informal cover letter. And then I have, like Dana was saying, a kind of template for a formal cover letter. It's very rare. Yeah, it's very rare. And from what I've seen coming across, I mean, obviously you two have more experience, but as I look at jobs, they don't want to deal with a cover letter a lot, but just have it on standby. Make sure you word it correctly. Make sure your grammar is correct. Like just those little details. If they're asking for it, they're OCD. So that company that you're applying for, automatically, if they're asking for a cover letter, which is not very typical right now, you automatically know that you need to be pristine and formal.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents on that one. And that's
guys,
really
remember the process. These resumes and this information that we're sharing is the key word is share. A person like Dana and I, a recruiter, is going to share that information and try to convince a hiring manager that, hey, Mr. Hiring Manager, you need to take a little bit of time to talk to this Mez lady that's applying. But you know what he's going to do? He is going to do the same thing. He's going to share it with the people on his team, the people that are actually involved in the very thing that we're talking about bringing you into. So, guys, we have Jason Hopper has joined us.
And Rex is here. Hi, Rex.
Rex always answers very intricate questions. And let's tackle Rex's question. He says LinkedIn reports remote jobs are down to 14% in November 2022 because we know where a lot of the companies are trying to get people to come back to the office from a high in February 2022 of 20%. Will
Yeah.
this trend continue in 2023 or will it stabilize? What do you guys think?
I
My crystal
honestly
ball is
think,
broken.
yeah, I
We
honestly
don't
think
know.
based on what I am seeing and what the market is tending to do across various sectors or various spaces, I think it's going to stabilize. I don't think we'll
I
ever
agree.
fully go back to 100% remote. I do
Right.
think some companies that were always very strict before COVID about being on site, there are some cultures like that. And depending on the
Yes.
type of role, it is necessary. But here's the thing. If the company wants to attract top talent, they're going to have to be open to that because
Agreed.
most
I agree.
top talent is standing their ground. They're standing their ground. They can get a job
As
almost
they should.
anywhere. And they're like, most people are very okay with hybrid. And we've met in the middle, I think, between corporate itself and the job seekers or the employment community, that most people are willing to do hybrid, but compromising by having a couple days to work at home, if it is a role that makes sense to work remote, is really where
Yeah,
it's coming
right.
down to. We may see that number grow just a little, maybe a little higher than 14%. But in the long run, I do think it will stabilize. And I think a lot of career fields have been shifting to full-time remote. And for some companies, especially if they run leaner and they're smaller, it makes more sense not to have ginormous amounts of overhead and physical property
Yeah,
and other
yeah.
costs that come. When you can have people working remote, officing from home, you're saving a lot on
Using their own internet, using their own electricity, just seriously, this is
Yeah, that's
the,
true.
I mean, some
it's a lot
companies may,
cheaper. Yeah.
it is a lot cheaper. Because even to Rex's point, and Dana, you hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. And right now, with the Fed, hopefully they'll shut up soon, but the Fed and Mr. Powell always
Agreed.
coming out saying, this inflation and all these points going up and down, we don't know. So we really don't know. In certain industries, Google, for example, just laid off a crap ton of people, announced yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Amazon has been, yep,
Amazon had a hit. There's another big
huge
company
hit.
I'm trying to think of that. Oh, guys, Salesforce laid off 10,000.
Which
Exactly.
I'm
And
shocked on that. I really
Yeah, I
I
am
am
too.
too,
Yeah.
That's a
ish. The tech industry, I mean, if you look at the NASDAQ, it's going to depress you. But that is the trend that is forming. And Dana said something about it's going to stabilize, but it's going to be peaks and valleys for a very long time. You're going to have people, I'm not a huge fan, but we're going to have people like Musk come out and go, "You are going to go back to the office."
Yep.
yeah.
In
And then he
fact,
buys
Jason
Twitter
just
and
made a
then gets
comment on
kicked
that.
out.
Yeah, and guys, I'm going to share with you what my buddy Jason Hopper's a coach. He's in the middle of the fight with all of us that try to
Yes.
help in the economy. He says he just recently read that due to the economy, employers who do not want hybrid may try and push back and have people required to be back in the office. We have seen, Meg Rosa just talked about some of the companies that we've seen
Some
that happen
companies are.
already. It's
Yeah.
going to continue. It's not
Yeah.
going to be a big thing that we have to worry about,
Yeah.
but it
But
is.
some
You
companies
are
will.
going to see, yeah, you are going to see some more of that. I want
Yeah.
to remind you guys that Jason Hopper is a coach at the Jewish Family Centers of Dallas. Guys,
Jason's
you
awesome.
will be
Love Jason.
surprised. Go to jfsdallas.org.
Yes.
Check
I'll put it in
out.
the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do that.
put it
That'd
in
be
there.
great.
I'm working on it. I'm double tasking today. They're
The
working me like a
whole
running mule.
Yeah, the
Ah!
whole company is there to help job seekers,
At
guys.
least you get to work remote.
They have events and all
Me
sorts
too.
of things.
Praise God.
So as I'm continuing to try to tell you guys about Jason, y'all find Jason Hopper. I call him J Hop. Go
Oh
and
gosh.
I know, and
Really?
connect with him on LinkedIn, guys. But I want you guys to know the services that are available to you guys at
You don't
the
have to be
Jewish
Jewish
Family.
either. I've
And
been
yeah,
there.
you don't
I
have
love
to be
them.
Jewish. Absolutely,
Shalom.
it is for everybody. Shabbat shalom. And
Yeah.
so, guys,
I can't think
Jay,
right now.
I am glad to see you with us. Rex,
Family.
always glad to see you. Rex is representing the East Coast, guys. He's out there in Virginia. He 1 minute he was in Tennessee, 1 minute he was in North Carolina, and now he's in Virginia. Rex is just mobile, guys. And Rex is another he's another person that you
He's
want to connect
amazing.
with on LinkedIn. If you're talking about, in my estimation, Rex Sauer is the number one a subject matter expert in career change and what's going on in the market and why
Yeah.
in my job search do I need to go. To be honest with you guys, I believe that I do what I do because I met Rex Sauer years ago. So
Yeah.
there you have it. I know if I keep
We got to
talking
get him
more,
back on
he's
the
gonna get
show.
back.
We know
Get back
Rex
on
is
the show.
awesome. He needs
Yep.
to be on the show again for
So,
sure.
guys, another thing, why don't we get, and of course, you're going to do this is kind of it, and all of the groups are going to push you towards getting business cards. Think about why
Mm.
you should have business cards with you guys. For all of your networking and everything, when you are in job search, you need to have those business cards. You never know. You might be at church, you might be at lunch after church, you might be at
Yep.
dinner with a bunch of people, and you talk about, oh,
Yeah.
Dana is out
And
of a
not the
job. She's
BS
looking for
digital
a job.
business cards. We're talking
There
about
you go.
physical business cards. I know
Yeah.
it's old school, but get over it. It
No, they're
costs
good. They're
$15.
still
They're
needed.
amazing.
I
They
love
are
it. They
needed.
are.
Yeah.
They are.
I would throw them out to people on the street and see what happens. Like, you just need to realize digital is good for some things, but physicality is extremely, extremely relevant even
Yeah.
today. Sorry, that
Five
was my
things,
rant. Sorry,
guys.
Foster.
That's okay. I love these rants. This is what this show is all about.
Yeah, it is.
Guys,
Honestly.
5 things that you guys need to have on your business card. Let's talk about that. Your
Yeah.
name, of course. You want to put whatever it is that you're looking for, of course. If you're a project manager, put project manager down there. If you
Right.
want to put a little bit of description to that, that's fine. Guys, and we definitely need to have our phone number and we need to have
Yes.
our email address on there.
And our
So
LinkedIn account.
and our LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Those are the 5 things, guys. Put your LinkedIn uh, uh, uh,
If you
tab,
can put the QR code,
That's
if
what
you
I was
can
going to
do
say.
that,
and
QR
some
code
the
have
on
QR
the
QR
code,
back.
codes.
Put the
if you
If
QR
you
code
can.
on the back.
if you can put that QR code on there, guys, because we all got these smartphones that are a lot smarter than Foster, and you can
We love
click
you
that.
anyway.
Yeah, you can click that QR code and it'll give you all sorts of things. And you know what, guys? Those are the 5 things. Let's say it again. Your name, what you are looking for, what
Or
type of
what
job
you
you're
do,
looking
your
for, what you
expertise.
do, what your
Expertise,
expertise.
yes. Any
Okay, phone number.
certifications, maybe?
We got to be able to call you and talk to you. Come on, son. We want our email address on there, guys,
Yes.
as well. Those are 4 things that we want to have on there. And that 5th thing is that LinkedIn address.
Yes.
You will have,
Either
if you're
address
on
or QR
LinkedIn,
code.
and if
Mhm.
you ain't on LinkedIn, you don't need to be in job search. But if
I
you have,
know. I know. Some people
Fair
still
point.
fight
guys,
LinkedIn,
if you
and I'm
have a
like,
LinkedIn, you have a LinkedIn link. They will give you a shortened link, and you need to put that link on that business card as well.
exactly.
And make the back of the card, as
Ah,
Pete brought this up very, very clearly the other day in what was it, the HR
it
group
was
that
the
we have.
HR group, I think.
So
Yeah.
I love this point that he said, make sure the back of it is as blank as possible, and don't get
Yeah.
all fancy with the material, because the reason why, if you want a blank business card on the back, is that person will write down why they are connecting with you, or what job they
Exactly.
are anything, just a notes section
You
basically.
guys know you're
And
gonna write on that card. Give yourself some
yeah,
space to write. You know you're gonna write on that card. Come on,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
exactly. So don't make the material all like shiny and you can't use a ballpoint
Yeah.
pen on.
If
Make
you
sure it's
laminate it,
pretty
it won't. You're
basic.
right. Keep it unlaminated.
Right. Don't go all out. And the only thing I would say that is a very, very I feel I'm sorry guys if I'm screaming at you guys. Apparently my volume's very loud. But only other thing I would say that it's very important to put on a business card is your picture, your professional headshot. Because I
You
do
know,
this so
yeah,
much.
everybody doesn't agree with that, but I do. I do.
I mean, you may not be comfortable doing that, but I had a box when I was in the job search, and I thought that was very, very important to have my picture, because it's especially with the fields that certain people are into, they can't remember everybody they meet. You know, recruiters, for example, if I'm giving my business card to a recruiter, like, Dana and Foster,
Uh-huh.
they meet thousands of people a year.
Oh my God, especially if
So
I'm at one of those
a
job.
job fair,
Yeah.
or even just a networking group, how many people have both of you met over the years? It's
Good.
astronomical.
To
So,
be honest, at Arizona State University, they have an amazing program. So when I worked
mhm,
for Karis, I would fly over to Phoenix and I'd go to ASU to recruit
ASU.
a lot of scientific people
right.
from their biology, biotech program.
Biochemical
And
engineers.
one of the things they
Hmm.
did, and they had their students do, which I think is super valuable, is when their students would come to the job fairs, they would bring a copy of their resume, and with every copy of their resume, it would almost be the size of an index card. And
Right.
they'd make just a little bit bigger of a business card, and it would have everything that Meg Foster and I just mentioned. It would have their picture, it would have their areas of expertise and degrees, their contact information,
Correct.
and they would and their picture, like I mentioned, and they would staple that to the resume or paperclip it to the resumes they gave out. Because speaking to your point, Mez, when you're the recruiter or talent acquisition professional working the booth, you see and talk to so many people. Maybe depending on the conversation you have, a few stand out, but it's hard to put a face to a name. But when you can see the face, you remember exactly what you spoke to that person about.
And you guys put little stars, like you guys have little, like,
Yeah.
to
Well, we
our
put our
point,
notes.
like
Yeah.
you put a little note, you put a sticker, something
Yeah.
on that resume going, okay, these are the ones I want
Ones that
to
we want to call
revisit.
back.
Yes, exactly.
But I've been to, like, for example, UTD did not do that. They didn't have those little cards. And I found myself thinking, wow, the difference in experience recruiting candidates at ASU from UTD, those little cards with the pictures made all the difference. I could take less notes because I could remember what we talked about by looking at the face. So when Meg says, put your picture on there, if you can, and if it is appropriate, do it. It makes a difference.
Think about this though, guys. If you got your LinkedIn link on there, or if you have employed the idea to put that little, what was that thing we were talking about? A while ago?
QR code.
QR
code, guys. Come on now. When somebody snaps your QR code, it's going to take them to your LinkedIn, and there better be a picture there. Job
Yes.
seekers, make sure you have an appropriate
Don't use me as,
picture on
as an
LinkedIn.
example there.
No,
Do not use me
don't
as an
use
example.
Mez as an example, but do connect
There's
with
other
Mez.
reasons. Yes, connect with
Yes.
me, but don't use me as do as I say, not as I do, which is
Have the
horrible
appropriate picture
motto.
on your LinkedIn is paramount, guys. Paramount.
Yes.
So
And
I
don't be
don't think
worried
that's a
about
bad idea to make it easy and put it on. I agree with you, Mez. Okay.
I mean, if they like you enough, everybody's like, oh, well, I don't want to have the biases. And everybody has biases, so get over that. They're going to, if they like your credentials, they're going to find out. I mean, even if it's a remote, position, they're going to find out you're a female, you're a male, you're black, you're white. I mean, they're going to find out if you're older or younger. I get the opposite bias a lot. Everybody talks about ageism. I look a lot younger than I am, which is not a bad thing if you have beauty regimen. I mean, I'm not complaining, but no one takes me seriously sometimes. So that's my battle. But everybody else, I mean, in the job search sometimes has the opposite battle.
Yeah. And, well, there could be struggles on any end, regardless of tenure. So at the end of the day, it's all about your attitude, your ability to think outside the box, communicate with others, and make a good impression. I could even say, Meg, it's interesting you brought that up. I have noticed that, like, I work for Korn Ferry, which is a huge organization on site for Galderma. And one thing I've noticed is the diversity, DE&I, as they call it, diversity, inclusion, and equity, or ethnicity, sorry. Diversity, ethnicity, and inclusion. They push that a lot more. So companies are becoming more diverse, and they are considering age in diversity, whether you're young or whether you're older. Age is becoming more and more of a protected area, which is nice, because I've had multiple
That's
talks
nice.
with
Yeah.
foster over the years where there's a frustration that once you start getting in your maybe early 50s, it can be a little scary in the market. But honestly, it is becoming a lot more protected. And I have noticed a wider span of age diversity in recruitment over the last year. So I want to encourage those out there that are worried about that to not worry about it. You know, at the end of the day, if a company
We
is
over worry. Yeah.
yeah, if the company is being over the top and they're worried about age and they hire you due to something illegal, then you probably, I mean, they won't hire you due to something illegal that they shouldn't be.
They won't put it in writing, basically. They're not going to put it in writing that they
discriminating,
did this. Yeah.
then you probably don't want to work there anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
I know I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Guys, let me tell you something that you'll argue with me about, and I won't argue with you because it's the truth anyhow. If it doesn't happen, no matter what it is, if it doesn't happen, it wasn't supposed to.
It wasn't God's
Okay.
plan.
Done
Yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Do not fight the battle that's not worth fighting.
I see Joel Fry is with us.
Yeah.
Joel
Hey,
is
Joel!
oh my goodness. Joel is one of the people in the network that you definitely want to connect with and talk to if you get an opportunity. So go find her on LinkedIn and connect with her. Tell
Love
her
her.
you heard Foster rambling on about her on the Jobfather radio.
Yeah.
You got the 3 talking heads today.
Three
They don't get to
talking
hear-
heads today.
Yeah,
Guys,
they don't get to hear me.
companies that we usually have job seekers on this part of the show.
Yeah.
So we want you companies to share with each other about
Mhm.
this show and what's going on, because you will find, let me tell you something, the job seekers that show up on this show have the job seeker stamp of approval from Mez and Dana and Foster. And these people, when you hear them explain what it is they do, I guarantee you will hear why they are exemplary people to consider hiring.
Absolutely. We take our gold star very seriously, and I know
Yeah,
we
that
joke a lot
gold
about it,
star
but
is-
we take this extremely seriously.
Yes.
We don't just have we just had Gyna, for everybody that's joining us. First part of the show, we had Miss Gyna, and she's bad to the bone. Like, she's 5 feet of concrete, like legit.
North
Legit.
Texas
She's
Lead
a
is
mayor.
all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Absolutely.
But she's hardcore, and she stood out to me. But we are hardcore when it
You are
comes
too.
to, yeah, that's my personality. But we're hardcore, and we don't need people that are, half like, I could get a job, or I could, like, no, we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
here. Jason even said super serious. We are. We're
They're
having
looking for that
fun.
commitment to
Exactly.
really be part of something and to show themselves as worthy of being represented by that organization.
Exactly.
Guys, how are we going to
exactly.
help you if you don't know what you want to do? How are we
That's
going to help
true.
that?
Hard. Because, I mean, Fawn and I, we joke all the time, with Dana too. We're octopuses on skates, all 3 of us.
That's so true.
We
That
are.
is
We
so
have
true.
so many. I made this sweater. I mean, I can do everything from crochet to biochemical engineering. I can design a manufacturing plant, and I'm an IT project manager. I am way
And she's a
overeducated.
mom.
I am a mom on top of everything
There's
else.
the music,
so
you
please
guys.
pray
You know
for
what
me.
that means.
Yeah.
There's the music. We will see
Great
you guys
show.
next Friday. Welcome to 2023. We're going to continue.
Amen.
Yes.
Let's make it
for a year.
good.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. See you next
guys.
week.
Here's important
Bye.
information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies,